Time for Movies and Money with Erik Childress, the founder of the Movie Madness podcast. Hello to you, Erik.
Hi, Angie.
Tell us about the latest victory and the latest big loss at the box office.
Well, on the positive side of things, Terrifier 3, a film with a $2 million budget whose first film was barely released in theaters, and the second, which became a little $10 million indie hit with horror fans, won the box office with over $18 million. Now, this was a huge victory, not just because of the film's roots and how its fan base has grown to turn it into this kind of a hit, but because of the perceived competition that should have further resisted this headline. Warner Brothers' Joker Folie à Deux officially had the biggest drop from opening weekend for a film released in over 3,000 theaters. The Joker sequel officially fell 81.4% down to just $7 million. The $200 million production now looks like it may not even gross $60 million domestic, which some thought it should have made opening weekend alone, and maybe less than $250 million worldwide.
Horror fans could once again rule the theater world this weekend as Smile 2 debuts.
Well, having not seen it yet, I can still tell you that it is a sequel to one of the big horror hits in recent years. Parker Finn's Smile was quite the success for Paramount back in 2022, opening to over $22 million, and word of mouth propelled it to over $105 million. Now, even with Terrifier 3 still out there and likely to finish second, I expect Smile 2 will have an even bigger opening, which could be enough to extend it to another $100 million finish or close to it. On the flip side, Smile is a film that I have railed on over the years whenever I have been asked about it because, despite thinking it is just not a particularly interesting or well-made horror film, I have major issues about the message it puts out there. Now, the film is one that helps set a recent trend about horror films using deep personal trauma as a jumping-off point for underlying meaning. Except in this film, those with mental disturbances are only able to find solution to that trauma by either killing themselves or killing somebody else. That, to me, is more disturbing than the chopped-up limbs of the Terrifiers or other violent horror films out there, and it really puts me off of these films.
Wow, that's a lot with that premise. Thank you, Erik. What's on your movie stars list for this weekend?
Well, there are certainly some choice titles opening in limited release this week, like Sean Baker's Honora, which I saw at Toronto, and Exhibiting Forgiveness from Sundance. Now, jot those titles down. But I have something for the whole family this weekend, and it's called Bookworm. This is a new film from Aunt Timpson that stars Nell Fisher as a young girl who, when her mother is put into the hospital, sets out to retrieve photographic evidence of the Canterbury Panther. Now, she is joined in her quest by her estranged magician father, played by Elijah Wood, in one of his best and maybe most hysterical performances. I got to see this at this year's Fantastic Fest from Austin, and it so completely won me over. Fisher gives such a wonderfully confident performance and has such a great rapport with Wood, who is just fantastically aloof at times, except when he's trying to impress with his tricks. It's in some theaters around the country, but also available on VOD. This is one of the genuine finds for family audiences this year, and I really hope it finds its way into their viewing rotation. It's called Bookworm. Look out for it.
See you next week.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.